About 6 months ago, Douglas Murray went on Joe Rogan and warned us all that there is a portion of the far right or the bad faith individuals that are espousing lots of lies. They're also siding with the people in history that were actually really horrible individuals, and they're trying to do this revisionist history sort of take. Douglas Murray also warned us about people like Candace Owens, like Ian Carroll, Daryl Cooper, Tucker Carlson, even Dave Smith, because he was actually debating Dave Smith. The internet blew up, as it normally does, over this debate. I made several videos about it. You can go and check them out if you like. And people started piling onto me and saying that I was wrong, Dave Smith was right. And they're all the highly emotional people, the ones that just love lashing out because they feel like it and they haven't done like more than 10 seconds of thinking about what Dave Smith has said. They're just like, oh, what he said sounds amazing. I love this. Amen. But then when you compare it to what Douglas Murray said, and you also look at history, because at the time Douglas Murray was saying this, he knew exactly what he was talking about. But even more so, 6 months on, my friends, everything has just been heightened. Charlie Kirk was assassinated. People on the far right, like Candace Owens, started their whole grifting narrative, trying to make it seem like something that it actually wasn't. Clicks. That's exactly what it is. But there is a portion of the right or bad faith individuals, those that are really extreme in their opinions and their viewpoints, and they're playing very dangerous games. Very dangerous. The conspiracy theory or conspiratorial narrative is growing, and it is quite profitable now. It is quite profitable to bash Israel. It's quite profitable to lie these days, but at what cost? Douglas Murray is often, and I quote this many, many times, you just have to watch my show to know, but what are you watering and why are you watering it? What are you trying to feed? What are you trying to grow? And if you're not asking yourself that question, why not? Here is Douglas Murray in his own words. It's a compilation created by Nathan Livingston of Milk Bar TV, who does excellent work. You should definitely check him out over on X. If you're not following me over on X, link is available in the show description as well. But do yourself a favor and follow Nathan as well. He's doing some amazing work. He's being sued currently by the dingbat, Andrew Tate. Why? Because he's been creating compilation videos and sharing the truth of Andrew Tate's own words. Anyway, if you want to support Nathan, you can go do that right now. I feel like I should give the guy credit because he's doing great work, and I appreciate his takes on many, many things. But here is Douglas Murray in his own words, warning us about Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, the whole lot of them.
I will find something that he did that I wouldn't have done, because if I'd have been running the British Empire in 1939, I'd have known exactly how to do it, and I'd have known how to hold the whole thing together, and I'd have kept Stalin back, and he'd have been great at Yalta. And like, this is...
But I don't think anybody's saying that.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm being a little hyperbolic, maybe. But I told him, maybe trying to provoke him a little bit, that I thought Churchill was the chief villain of the Second World War. Now, he didn't kill the most people. He didn't commit the most atrocities. But I believe, and I think when you really get into it and tell the story right and don't leave anything out, you see that he was primarily responsible for that war becoming what it did.
He and these other guys are all doing the anti-Churchill stuff now.
But he's not doing an anti-Churchill stuff.
You know, the circles I float in, it wasn't that crazy of a thing to say. It's like, yeah, we all know Churchill is the villain. I thought that was common knowledge.
But you can't say he helped his country. I was in London 2 weeks ago. Like that, they didn't win the war in any meaningful way. Like, he wrecked the country.
No, but the question is, like, where's the victory? I don't understand. Like, everyone wants to yell at you for not loving Churchill. Okay, well, show me the victory.
Because we've all been so brainwashed by the school system to believe that, oh, look how great things are. Let me ask you about your country. Do you think that your country has become greater since? Has our country become greater since? Absolutely not.
Brutal war.
Yeah, it was an existential threat, because if Germany won, they would have seized Russia, and then who knows what the world would look like today.
Right. It's hard to say. Worse, better, we have no idea to know, right?
World War II was perhaps the greatest catastrophe in human history. And the starting point
of any discussion about it must be that of all the possible outcomes that could have resulted from events leading up to the conflict, the one that ended up happening was the worst of all.
But there still is just the basic facts that it almost couldn't have gone worse.
Sorry, I just have to address that fundamental. You say the outcome of World War II and everything that happened in it was the worst thing that's ever happened, and the worst thing imaginable, worst possible outcome, you said.
No. Just about.
You said worst possible outcome. Let me give you a much worse possible outcome. Hitler wins.
Right. Okay. Sure.
So it's not the worst possible outcome.
I mean,
that's true.
Listen, but okay, Hitler. Yes. Okay. I'm not saying you can't dream up a worse outcome.
Do you decide to go, hey, what else have we been lied to? Maybe Churchill wasn't a great guy. Maybe Hitler wasn't such a bad guy. Maybe the Holocaust, etc., etc.
Nobody is saying that. No one is saying maybe Hitler wasn't such a bad guy.
Because I honestly think that Hitler was a good guy based upon my own research, not my public education indoctrination.
To transcribe Hitler's speeches in English. Yeah. I say, this dude's probably racist as shit. He's probably going to say the N-word every... Right now, I was like, oh my God.
He's just very pro-Germany. Like,
listen to what he's talking about, and it's like, this sounds like the problems we're having today. Like, he was trying to like encourage community, encourage, family values, remove the perversion. He wanted to instill morals. I mean, was he a good guy or not? I don't fucking know. I wasn't there, but I was told that he is the worst guy in the history of the world, and that's for sure not true.
Hitler was awesome. Hitler was right. And the Holocaust didn't happen.
I like Hitler. I do not. The Holocaust is not what happened. Let's look at the facts of that. And Hitler has a lot of redeeming qualities.
She said something along the lines of, 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust. And I was like, oh my God, bro, here we so sick of hearing that, you playing along with something that you just know is bullshit.
They experimented on twins. I mean, some of the stories, by the way, sound completely absurd. I mean, like the idea that they just like cut a human up and then sewed them back together. Why would you do that? Literally, even if you're the most evil person in the world, that's a tremendous waste of time and supplies. Just slice a person in half and sew them together. That just sounds like bizarre propaganda.
There is a portion of the right across the West that is playing this very dark game, and they're doing it deliberately, and you can't not be aware of that.
I agree.
First, they come for Churchill, and then they revise history and say that Hitler, of all people, wasn't the big bad guy of World War II. He didn't start anything. He was just trying to protect Germany. He wasn't trying to start a world war. No, that was all Churchill's doing. Hitler was actually really the good guy in all this scenario. And that, my friends, is wrong, in case you were wondering. But these people like Jake Shields, Ian Carroll, Dan Bilzerian, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, all going, well, how did England win? How did the UK win exactly? How did Great Britain take over, if not for America? Look at your country now. It's got nothing to do with Hitler. In fact, like Douglas Murray pointed out, Hitler won. Imagine what happens if that was the scenario. Hitler wins. Hitler won World War II. Then we're screwed. Then guess what, Jake Shields, Dan Bilzerian, Tucker Carlson? You guys probably don't exist. I probably won't exist. Who knows? We'll never know, will we? But these revisionist historian types are nothing but charlatans. Crazy, delusional people preying on the weak, vulnerable minds of individuals that don't do more than 10 seconds of thinking, that don't know their history. Oh, we've been fed a lot of this bullcrap about history and how Germany wasn't all that bad, how Hitler wasn't that bad. I like Hitler because he committed the Holocaust. Oh, the Holocaust wasn't exactly what we've been told it is. No. These people are insane. Douglas Murray is smart, highly intellectual. And you see these people that are on the far right, bad faith ones. The reason why I go far right is because they're just bad faith. They're not on the right or Christians, conservatives, none of that stuff. Because otherwise they wouldn't be saying anything like that. It seems to me like it's more demonic, demon possession than anything else. But Douglas warned us. He warned us on Joe Rogan. No one really listened. And those that did, good on you. I know many people in my audience listened, and it just shows that you're very smart. You actually do some thinking. A lot of young people need to wake up. They need to actually realize that who they're following, they're not good people. They're quite dangerous. So, you know what? Hitler's probably like clapping in his grave at the moment. Everyone's just like giving Hitler exactly what he wanted. Maybe we should all start waking up and realizing that these people on the right, or that call themselves on the right, they're not actually good people. And they're leading loads of people astray, Candace Owens especially. And it's our job as Christians to call them out, call attention to it. And I'm thankful for people like Douglas Murray. That's enough from me. You guys take care. You're blessed. And I'll see you all in the next video.